Carvana benefiting from the strong used car market in its most recent quarter. Total gross profit was up 145%.
But as with many one-time Wall Street darlings, the excitement around the online used vehicle retailer did not last long.
Carvana just shocked the entire car industry, and to be honest, it's hard to ignore their recent financial turnaround. Just think about it. Not too long ago, many industry watchers were asking if Carvana's business model could even survive. The uncertainty was too much, and the stakes were high. So what happened? And what does this mean for the used car market and also the industry as a whole? Is this the start of a new era? After facing some serious hurdles, including a mountain of debt and falling prices for used cars, the company has flipped the narrative and everyone started talking about it. And as you dig into the details, what you see is a weird trajectory, because what this means is that Carvana just reported their first profitable quarter in what feels like an eternity. This revelation set off a wave of excitement and curiosity within the auto sector. Analysts were quick to react, raising their eyebrows at the seemingly contradictory situation. Despite a drop in revenues, here's the kicker: the company still managed to boost its profits. So you might be wondering how they pulled this off. Well, buckle up, because the details are fascinating. Carvana didn't just sit back and hope for a miracle. They took decisive action. The company rolled up its sleeves and dove into extensive cost-cutting measures. Can you believe they managed to slash annual expenses by a staggering $1.1 billion? So how did they do this? Let me break it down for you. And you, just subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out. How did we get here? The recent cost cuts were mainly due to streamlining their operations for maximum efficiency, but that has its own implications, right? There are choices where it is essential to ramp up their financial standing and navigate the rough waters they found themselves in. See Carvana, which launched in 2013 as a part of Drive Time Automotive Group, arrived on the scene with an exciting and fresh perspective on how to buy cars. The main idea behind this company was pretty simple yet groundbreaking. They wanted to take the hassle and confusion out of purchasing used vehicles. Carvana believed that using technology could open the door to a fantastic online shopping experience where consumers could explore and buy cars right from the comfort of their own homes. This approach focused on making things easier and clearer, especially in an industry that often feels complicated and overwhelming. So Carvana quickly started spreading its wings across the United States, and boy, did they do it fast. Within just a few years, they had expanded into key markets such as Nashville, Dallas, and Phoenix. But this rapid growth wasn't without its bumps along the road. Carvana encountered all sorts of logistical challenges related to managing inventory and setting up delivery systems. To tackle these issues head on, they needed to build a solid logistics network to ensure that vehicles could be delivered to customers promptly and efficiently. Despite the hurdles, Carvana kept its focus on customer happiness, powering through the growing pains to continue its expansion, at least at the start. See, at the core of Carvana's business model lies an unwavering commitment to making life easier for customers, and people thought this would continue, and you couldn't blame them. The Carvana Method. Their online platform is super user-friendly, allowing you to browse through an impressive array of vehicles, fill out financing applications, and finalize purchases, all without ever having to step inside a traditional dealership. This focus on creating a smooth user experience means that customers can effortlessly navigate the site and find exactly what they are looking for. Plus, fun features like high-definition 360-degree vehicle tours allow buyers to see detailed views of each car, enhancing the online shopping journey even further. See, this way Carvana stands out from the crowd. Plus, they boast an enormous online inventory. Imagine browsing through around 25,000 pre-owned vehicles whenever you want. That's way more options than you would typically find at your local dealership. This extensive selection gives car buyers the chance to pick from a broader range of makes and models, ensuring their dream car is just a click away. Another cool feature is Carvana's transparent pricing approach. You won't have to worry about surprise fees or endless negotiations. Instead, customers can see the total price up front, which helps to build trust and confidence in what they are buying. That kind of clarity is a game changer in the car buying experience. And who could forget those eye-catching car vending machines? They're becoming a significant part of what Carvana is known for. These unique structures serve not only as convenient pickup locations, but also make for a fun fun and unforgettable marketing experience that turns heads and generates tons of buzz. To help boost customer confidence even further, Carvana offers a 7-day money-back guarantee. This means that buyers can take their new wheels for a spin and truly test them out before fully committing to the purchase. It's a level of assurance that you just don't see in traditional car sales, giving customers peace of mind that is invaluable. Carvana also understands that life can be busy, so they provide clients with flexible options for vehicle delivery. You can have your new car dropped right at your door or arrange to pick it up at one of those cool vending machines. This added flexibility caters to different preferences, enhancing the convenience factor that Carvana is all about. As a result of its innovative approach, Carvana saw some serious success in retail rankings within the used car market. By 2018, they had rocketed into the top 10 used car retailers in the United States, based on sales volume and market share. This growth clearly demonstrates the effectiveness of their business model and marketing strategies in catching the attention of happy customers everywhere. Fast forward to 2021, and Carvana had climbed the ranks to become the second largest used car retailer in the country, coming in just behind CarMax. This remarkable achievement not only highlights their rapid growth, but also shows their ability to thrive by connecting directly with consumers who are increasingly leaning towards online shopping. Carvana's momentous journey didn't stop there. Gaining entry into the Fortune 500 ranks was a significant milestone that solidified its status as a major player in both the automotive and tech industries. This accomplishment not only elevated the brand's perception, but also gave investors a boost of confidence regarding its long-term growth and viability. Joining the ranks of renowned tech companies like Google and Amazon truly puts Carvana in a league of its own, emphasizing its innovative tactics and revolutionizing automotive e-commerce. And this was no easy task. It came with a big challenge and an ambition to grow. Let me explain. Risk versus opportunity. Carvana truly capitalized on a wave of opportunities that surfaced during the pandemic. Let's dive into how they navigated these unique market conditions. First up, let's talk about those favorable market conditions. The pandemic unleashed some major disruptions across the supply chain, affecting the availability of vehicles. Carvana was quick to adapt to these changes, responding with agility that set them apart from the competition. On top of that, social distancing measures forced consumers to rethink how they shopped. Suddenly, online shopping became the go-to solution. People were looking for safer, more convenient ways to buy cars, and that's where Carvana really shone. But wait, there's even more to consider. Government stimulus programs had a significant impact on consumer spending in the automotive sector during this time. With extra cash in hand, folks were more inclined to make big purchases, like cars. Not to mention, low interest rates made financing options way more appealing. This perfect storm of favorable conditions allowed Carvana to position itself as a premier online car buying option. Now, let's get into the explosive demand and record sales Carvana experienced during the pandemic. Their sales growth shot up significantly, and the quarterly performance metrics blew past expectations. It was as if they had hit a sales jackpot, and everyone took notice. In fact, by the end of 2021, they celebrated a monumental achievement, selling their millionth vehicle by January 2022. This milestone didn't just mark a number, it represented a significant leap in brand recognition and positioned Carvana as a serious player in the automotive market. However, every success story has its unexpected turns, and Carvana's journey was no different. As demand surged, the company started encountering challenges due to this overwhelming influx. Suddenly, the demand was far outpacing their operational capacity. This meant they had to scramble to keep up, which inevitably impacted service delivery and customer satisfaction. It's a tough ride when you're trying to fulfill such skyrocketing demand, and Carvana had to figure it out fast. Another hurdle arose with accumulated inventory, assumed to be at peak prices. This created financial strain and made it clear that there were some strategic miscalculations regarding demand forecasts. Carvana had to reevaluate their approach to inventory management because guessing the market's next move could be a risky gamble. Then came the acquisition of ADESA, which Carvana undertook to enhance its inventory management capabilities and streamline reconditioning processes. The rationale behind this decision was clear: to boost operational efficiency. However, not everyone was on board with this move. Critics raised eyebrows about the timing of the acquisition, especially with concerns simmering over increasing debt levels tied to this expansion. But Carvana executives weren't backing down. They defended the acquisition by arguing that it was a strategic move intended to create long-term operational efficiencies. Essentially, they believed the benefits would outweigh any short-term challenges, paving the way for a more robust business model. So what are the challenges? Let's dive into the hurdles that Carvana has been facing lately. It's a wild ride full of twists and turns. First off, we need to look at the regulatory hurdles that have been quite significant for the company. Carvana has had some serious run-ins with state laws, particularly around how they handle title deliveries and vehicle inspections. In states like Illinois and Michigan, the company admitted to not following rules that require them to transfer vehicle titles promptly to their customers. Can you imagine the frustration? Reports surfaced that some customers waited months, yes, months, and even up to a year to get the right documentation to legally drive their vehicles. This situation didn't sit well with state regulators, leading to investigations and even suspensions of Carvana's dealership licenses in several states. Why? Because their practices were seen as causing imminent harm to the public. The Secretary of State's office in Illinois had to step in, emphasizing that these violations caused a lot of inconvenience and disappointment for customers who had hoped for a smooth online buying experience. Now, how did Carvana respond to this wave of regulatory scrutiny? Well, they didn't just sit back and wait for things to magically fix themselves. The company launched several initiatives focused on improving compliance and operational efficiency. They reached a settlement with Illinois regulators, promising to tighten up their internal processes to ensure titles are transferred without delays and laws are fully respected. This involved giving up a hefty $250,000 bond and agreeing to more thorough inspections by the Secretary of State Police. A spokesperson from Carvana made it clear that they were committed to collaborating with state officials and regulatory bodies to sort out compliance matters and enhance customer experiences in the future. To top it off, the company even stepped up by initiating training programs for employees who handle paperwork, making sure everyone is on the same page regarding legal requirements. No room for future slip-ups. Changing gears a bit, let's talk about the demand decline and price normalization that became apparent in the post-pandemic world. After the wild ride of skyrocketing demand for used cars during the pandemic, thanks to low interest rates and government stimulus, the scene has shifted. Now, the demand is starting to decline as people begin to revert to more traditional purchasing methods. Market analysts have reported that after hitting unprecedented highs, used car prices are finally starting to level off. And guess what? This stabilization has squeezed profit margins for companies like Carvana. This cooling off phase isn't just a bump in the road, it has pushed Carvana to rethink its pricing strategies and inventory management practices if they want to stay competitive in this ever-evolving market. But it doesn't stop there. Carvana has also faced criticism for missed opportunities that contributed to some of its underperformance. Even though they experienced rapid growth during the pandemic, the company didn't fully capitalize on the surge in consumer interest for buying vehicles online. While other companies adapted quickly by enhancing their service offerings or beefing up inventory, Carvana seemed to struggle. Operational inefficiencies got in the way, making it tough for them to meet the growing customer demands effectively. This situation has thrown a spotlight on the crucial need for agility in operations and the ability to anticipate market shifts strategically. So what now? As these hurdles mounted, concerns about Carvana's debt level relative to its revenue began to intensify. Analysts pointed out that although the company recorded rapid growth, it simultaneously racked up significant debt, raising questions about its long-term sustainability. The reliance on debt financing to fuel expansion efforts caused experts to caution about potential liquidity issues, especially if revenue growth doesn't keep up with those mounting debt obligations. As if that weren't enough, there's been a call for Carvana to tighten cost management measures. Every dollar counts when you're navigating tricky waters. In light of these numerous challenges, Carvana's stock performance has taken quite a hit since the peak of the pandemic. Analysts started handing out downgrades, warning about possible cash shortages and operational inefficiencies that impact investor confidence. After a series of negative reports regarding compliance issues and declining sales figures, Carvana's stock saw a dramatic drop from a stratospheric high of around $60 billion in market capitalization to about $723 million. This sudden plummet speaks volumes about investor concerns, not only regarding immediate financial health, but also wider apprehensions about the company's ability to pivot and adapt to a shifting automotive retail landscape. To add another layer to this already tangled web, we have the decline in Carvana's market capitalization, which is a clear sign of the turbulent times they've been navigating. From a peak valuation soaring to $60 billion during those pandemic days, their their market cap has significantly shrunk due to a blend of regulatory scrutiny, operational challenges, and changing consumer preferences, ongoing investigations across multiple states, delays in title transfers that hurt customer satisfaction, and a general cool-off in used car demand post-pandemic all played a part in this downturn. As Carvana looks for a way to move forward amidst these complications, understanding the dynamics behind this decline in market cap will be crucial for stakeholders who are evaluating its path to future viability. So what did Carvana do? Well folks, it is about to get wild. Remember I told you that the recent reports of increase in profits had implications? Well, in a struggle for survival, Carvana has announced some layoffs. See, Carvana's recent layoffs highlight a critical shift in the company's strategy as it navigates substantial financial challenges and the evolving dynamics of the market. Back in May 2022, Carvana announced that it would lay off approximately 2,500 employees, which accounted for about 12% of its total workforce. This tough decision stemmed from issues of overcapacity, meaning that they had more staff than necessary. The company recognized the pressing need to better align staffing levels with the decline in sales volumes, particularly as the used car market began to slow down. These layoffs were framed by Carvana as a necessary step aimed at improving both profitability and operational efficiency. The company had been grappling with high fixed costs, a consequence of overbuilding their capacity during a period of rapid growth. Unfortunately, this overexpansion led to considerable financial losses. For instance, in the first quarter of 2022, Carvana reported a staggering loss of $506 million. This figure was 6 times greater than the loss recorded during the same period the previous year. This kind of financial strain made it clear that Carvana needed to streamline its operations. They began making tough choices, such as moving away from their inspection center in Euclid, Ohio, and scaling back logistics hubs around the country. Now, the way these layoffs were communicated drew quite a bit of criticism as well. Many employees received their layoff notifications via Zoom or email from CEO Ernie Garcia III, which was perceived by some as disrespectful and impersonal. Imagine getting a life-altering message like that through a screen. Workers expressed feelings of fear and uncertainty during this tricky time, pointing out that they often felt abandoned without much support from management throughout this difficult transition. All of this makes you wonder, what even is this struggle for survival approach that they are talking about? Let's dissect it together. Will they survive? Despite these significant challenges facing Carvana, a number of analysts remain optimistic about the company's innovative business model. They argue that Carvana represents a fundamentally better way for consumers to shop for and purchase used cars, especially given the rising trend of online transactions. For example, Bank of America global research analyst Nat Schindler pointed out that even though many investors have soured on Carvana, the foundational advantages of its platform, like convenience and a wide selection, are still quite compelling. Analysts have suggested that Carvana's ability to connect physical and virtual markets positions it nicely for future growth, especially as consumer habits continue to evolve in the post-pandemic world. Adding to their optimism, Morgan Stanley recently raised its price target for Carvana's shares from $45 to $75. This adjustment reflects a renewed confidence in the company's potential, despite Morgan Stanley maintaining an underweight rating because of their concerns regarding high valuations in relation to earnings capabilities. This move underscores a recognition of Carvana's performance improvements and market position compared to the previous year, indicating that some analysts genuinely see a possible path forward for the company, even amid current struggles. However, Morgan Stanley's assessment also highlights a critical need for Carvana, a substantial capital infusion to maintain operations and fund growth initiatives. The company has seen a surge in its share price, yet it still faces considerable financial hurdles that cannot be overlooked. Their valuation remains quite elevated, trading at more than 30 times its projected earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization for the fiscal year 2025, which raises serious questions about its long-term financial health and ability to generate sustainable profits. To address these financial concerns, Carvana has laid out an ambitious plan for a $2 billion fundraising strategy. This plan includes securing additional capital to not only support operational costs, but also to make strategic acquisitions. acquisitions. One of those acquisitions is the planned purchase of a crucial vehicle auctioneer. This move aims to strengthen Carvana's inventory management and overall operational efficiency. To tackle its financial troubles head-on, Carvana is implementing strategic changes designed to reduce operational costs while simultaneously enhancing profitability metrics, such as earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. The company is keen on streamlining processes across its supply chain and logistics operations, striving for significant cost savings. For instance, Carvana's executives have highlighted the importance of improving gross profit for each vehicle sold. They're doing this by optimizing pricing strategies and enhancing the processes involved in vehicle reconditioning. By investing in technologies that improve inventory turnover and lower holding costs, Carvana aims to earn better profit margins on each vehicle sold. Furthermore, management is dedicated to showing operating leverage by scaling operations effectively without disproportionately inflating costs. In efforts to calm investor nerves regarding its liquidity amid ongoing financial pressures, Carvana is shining a light on several available resources and strategic moves. As of early 2024, the company has reported over $1 billion in liquidity resources. This boost has been aided by successful equity offerings and strong relationships with financial institutions like Ally Financial. Having this kind of financial flexibility is critical for managing short-term challenges while setting the stage for long-term growth. Additionally, Carvana has proactively strengthened its balance sheet by upsizing loan purchase agreements and pursuing strategic asset sales. These actions not only improve liquidity, but also give the company several years of runway, even in tough conditions. By emphasizing these liquidity assurances, Carvana hopes to instill a sense of confidence among investors regarding its ability to weather current market uncertainties while ambitiously pursuing its growth objectives. So what should we expect? Well, one more thing we need to understand is that Carvana is currently navigating a fiercely competitive landscape where both online and traditional dealerships are in a constant battle for dominance in the used car market. The emergence of online competitors, coupled with traditional players adapting their strategies, significantly influences the dynamics of this ever-evolving industry. Online competitors like Vroom and Shift are formidable challengers to Carvana's position. Vroom stands out with its compelling marketing tactics and top-notch customer service, offering a streamlined online buying experience that resonates with consumers looking for convenience. Shift, on the other hand, takes customer service a step further with personalized offerings, including home test drives and vehicle delivery, enhancing the buying experience and fostering loyalty among consumers. With platforms like TrueCar and AutoTrader also vying for attention, Carvana must continually innovate to maintain its competitive edge in this environment. But it's not just online platforms that pose a threat. Traditional dealerships are stepping up by embracing digital sales models to combat the influence of online-first companies like Carvana. Many of these dealerships are investing in technology that facilitates online transactions to meet the growing consumer preference for digital experiences. By introducing integrated platforms, they allow customers to browse inventories, secure financing, and schedule deliveries, all from the comfort of their homes. This hybrid approach enables traditional dealerships to enhance customer convenience and present themselves as viable alternatives to fully online retailers. In this shifting landscape, Ford is making waves with its strategy to sell electric vehicles directly online, effectively skipping traditional dealership networks for specific models. This move not only meets the rising demand for electric vehicles, but also positions Ford as a visionary player within the competitive market. The implications of Ford's direct sales model are far-reaching, setting a precedent that challenges the traditional dealership framework, making it essential for Carvana to keep a close watch on its developing competition. From Carvana's perspective, the auto retail landscape is filled with diverse opportunities. Executives at Carvana recognize that competition, while fierce, validates the market's growth potential. They stress that their unique business model, emphasizing convenience and transparency, continues to differentiate them amid the competitive fray. In light of these challenges, Carvana's management is focusing on immediate operational improvements without losing sight of long-term goals. Efforts to refine logistics, optimize inventory management, and enhance customer service capabilities are essential for maintaining competitiveness in this rapidly changing market. For Carvana, adaptability is crucial for survival. The company must respond swiftly to changing market conditions while implementing effective turnaround strategies. But what do you think? Let's know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.